Being met is rare, not misunderstood, not unloved, not unsupported. Met. And I used to think that rarity meant something about me, that I was too intense, too misunderstood, too deep, too sensitive, too specific. But what I see now is entirely different. Being met is rare because presence is rare. And presence is rare because most humans are not actually inhabiting themselves. So let's start in the body, not philosophy. Human nervous systems evolved for connection before cognition, before language, before logic, before explanation. We survived through attunement, eye contact, tone, breath, micro movements, proximity. The body learned to ask one primary question: am I safe with you? Not, do you understand me? Do you agree with me? Do you approve of me? Safety came first. But safety wasn't abstract. It was felt. And the nervous system learned very early how to read tightening, collapse, pulling away, false smiles, subtle misattunement. All of that happens before thought. So when I say being met, I'm not talking about someone saying the right words. I'm talking about your body stays with mine while I'm here. Meeting each other is biologically difficult now. And here's the part that is always on my heart. Most modern humans live outside their bodies, not because they chose to, but because they had to survive families, to survive schools, to survive systems that rewarded performance, obedience, explanation, and control. So the nervous system adapted. Instead of presence, it learned management. Instead of attunement, it learned interpretation. Instead of contact, it learned strategy. That's intelligence under pressure. And it has a cost. Because you cannot meet someone from strategy. You can respond, you can advise, you can validate, and you can empathize. But you cannot truly meet. Validation is what we offer when presence is unavailable. And this is where it all connects. Validation sounds like, that makes sense. I hear you. Your feelings are valid. And sometimes those words are real, but often they're a substitute. Because validation lives in the mind, and being met lives in the body. Validation says, I understand your experience. Being met says, I am here with you while you are having it. And most people do not have the nervous system capacity to do that. It is not because they're cruel, and it is not because they don't care. It is because they are busy surviving their own internal disconnection. I can feel the difference immediately between someone who is responding to me and someone who is actually with me. So why does being met feel so threatening? This is essential. Because meeting someone requires slowing down, tolerating sensation, staying present with emotion, not fixing, not reframing, not escaping. And for many nervous systems, that feels unsafe. Because presence means you might feel something that you've been avoiding. You might not know what to say. You might lose control yourself. You might have to stay instead of perform. You may be empty yourself and unable to hold anything else. So, the system does what it knows. It moves upward, into language, into concepts, into reassurance, validation. And those aren't bad things. They're just not meeting. People who are naturally embodied, who feel first, who sense truth before words, notice this absence immediately because their systems are oriented toward contact, not cognition. So when someone stays in their head, it doesn't feel neutral. It feels like being alone together, being mirrored but not touched, being spoken at but not held. And over time, this creates confusion. It sounds like, why do people say the right things, but I still feel unseen? Why does support feel hollow? Why do I feel more alone after sharing? Nothing is wrong with you. What you're feeling is the absence of co-regulation. Meeting requires self-contact first. You cannot meet someone in a place you refuse to inhabit in yourself. If you leave your body when things get uncomfortable, you will unintentionally leave others there too. If you override your own signals, you will also override theirs. If you require performance to stay safe, you will require it from others. This is not moral. It's mechanical. It's learned via relational behavior. It becomes a game of cat and mouse. You seek in others what you cannot seem to find in yourself. Repeat. The moments I was most desiring to be met were the moments I was authentically the most present with myself. And you can't train meeting through skills alone, because meeting is not a technique. It's a state. A state of settled nervous system, internal permission, enough safety to stay. This is why people can read all the books, learn all the language, practice all the empathy, and still not meet each other. Because they're doing empathy from the head, not from the body. And this matters deeply because we live in a time of unprecedented communication. But communication is not contact. We have more language than ever and less capacity to be present. So many people are lonely. Not because no one is talking to them, but because no one is actually with them. And when I finally understood this, something lifted. I stopped personalizing the absence. I stopped asking, why won't they meet me? I started recognizing a long time ago, they can't because they're not here. And that knowing is also what kept me staying much longer than I should have. The cost of that compassion, when you understand why people can't meet you, it's easy to turn that into obligation. To stay, to wait, to hold the space alone. But understanding is not the same as consent. And compassion does not require self-abandonment. Being met is rare because presence is rare. Presence is rare because safety is rare. And safety is rare because most humans were taught to survive, not to inhabit. And this isn't a condemnation, it's a context. And when you finally stop asking disconnected systems to give you embodied contact, something massive shifts. You stop shrinking. You stop explaining. You stop proving. You stop settling for substitutes. You don't become demanding. You become clear. You become more able to accept yourself. You gain the ability to fully meet yourself. and you finally feel able enough to meet others too. If you've spent your life longing to be met, or wishing you could meet others better, there is nothing wrong with you. You are responding accordingly to a world that learned to cope instead of stay. And when you find even one place, one moment, where presence is mutual, your body knows. No validation required.